Hello. I bet. How are you, boss? Good to see you. You guys can see the screen okay? Win isn't here yet. He was online a little bit ago. So I don't know if he's waiting to log. He should be here shortly. We have LaDonna here and Victoria. What's your last name again? The camera. Yep, there you are. All right. Perfect. Let's see if anybody's waiting in the way. Nobody yet. Surely he is not. There he is. Victoria, right? When was in a just to Madonna. Great. Stop extending and to near the whole screen.
Yeah, the
Great.
only thing you could do is just
Yeah, the only thing you could do is just
hit the mute button.
The mute button.
the mute button. Actually, I can do it from here. There we go. Yep. And then just turn down your volumes. Otherwise, I hear an echo of myself. And to turn down the volume on the iPad, you have a button right up here at the top in the upper corner. And then just turn that volume down. If one does it, then try the other one. There we go. Is that better? There we go. Perfect. Oh, keep trying yours. A little bit lower. There we go. A little bit more. Okay, perfect. And then let me see where Win ended up. Oh. Oh boy. Pauline has COVID, poor thing. And then 4961. Oh, Win is in the wrong one. Good. You should be able to see whoever's talking. So that same icon. And what I can do is I can do follow the host video order. And let's do the speakers. There you go. Should be able to blur my background. I wonder where you're pinned. There we go. Is that better? Is that showing me? Okay, great. So today's class is on the camera and how to take pictures using the iPhone or the iPad. And so that's what we're going to work on today. I admit that I have, what do I have currently? I have 168,000 photos. Yeah, so I have a large number of photos on my iPhone and on my desktop computer and everywhere that the cloud exists. All of my pictures are there. So I definitely enjoy taking pictures because it's very easy to do. I recently went out with a just a standard um, camera and took some pictures with that, and that was interesting. So it won't let you turn it down any further. I think Zoom keeps it from getting too low. No, not well. You'll be looking at the screen up here. So yeah, if you want to. All right, I will. Um, let's see. What do I do? There we go. Yeah, I'll put you both in the waiting room. There we go. And Detroit. Hi, Win. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I was waiting. I said, let me go and see if there was some message or something that was sent. And then I saw the Zoom you put up, and bam, got it. That was it.
Yeah, I don't know if it put in the wrong Zoom or what it ended up doing, but I guess it's working now. So good to see you. Absolutely.
Okay.
We have LaDonna and we have Vicky in the class today. So
Okay.
it should be fun. So all right. So we're going to learn about the camera today, which is always a lot of fun. Like I said, love to take pictures. I take too many, it seems like, because I enjoy taking photos and I enjoy using the camera that's built um, into the device. So I really enjoy taking the pictures that I can with that. But as I was saying before you came in, um, I actually used a standard regular camera a little while ago, and that was kind of a fun thing to go out and take out into public. And Wolf Camera actually will take it and process it for me. And it was kind of neat to wait, 7 days for the pictures that I took to see if they were any different or if I had done any difference. And it was interesting. But the digital camera on our iPhone and iPad gives us the ability to take as many pictures as we want to. So we can just snap as much as we feel inclined to. Now, Vicky, you just have an iPad, right? Or do you have an iPhone as well? Just your iPad. Do you have any other smartphone or digital phone? Nope. Good for you. It probably makes your life so much better. Sometimes with the iPhone, it seems like it doesn't. But with the iPad, you can definitely take pictures with it and use that big screen as a display. So you're definitely welcome to follow along if you want to with that. So yes. So the question is, what's the difference in quality between the iPhone and the iPad? So the iPhone, it has its three lenses on it, so you can do more zooming and get more details out of it. some of the newer iPads actually have 2 lenses on them. I think yours does too, right? Is there only one there? That's only one on yours. So some of the new iPads actually have 2 camera lenses as well on the more expensive ones. Um, but the question is the camera better on the iPhone versus the iPad? And the place to go check that out would be to go check the Apple's website, and you can look at the lens quality and what's available. Now, both of the devices take 12 megapixel pictures, so they're pretty high resolution photos when you look at it that way. And if I were to take a picture with my iPhone and then take a picture with my iPad, you probably wouldn't notice that much of a difference between the two. They're both very much alike. So, and then everything on the iPhone and the iPad is pretty much exactly the same as far as how you take your pictures. So you won't have to worry about much being different on that. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see if this is working today. Before I go forward, any questions or anything on camera photography or how to take pictures before I get started? A sabbatical, spatial. Absolutely. So the question is, will I cover all of the words that are down here at the bottom of the iPhone and on the side of the iPad if you are taking pictures using it? It has the same words on the iPad as well. And yes, I will try to cover what all of these different options are when we do get to that point. So.
Okay.
Great. So the iPhone and iPad, the IO devices out there are both really great at taking pictures. And the world has actually switched from bringing their big old camera out to just bringing their iPhone with them whenever they go on vacation. Now, there are some reasons to bring a larger, big digital SLR camera. Has anybody shot with any of those? You have? Okay. Win, have you?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
What kind of camera do you have, Win?
I don't have one right now, but I used to have a Nikon, and I did a lot of photos and worked in a dark room for a long time.
Fun.
And I had a Hasselblad.
Okay. Hasselblad. Those are fun. Those are really nice. Yes, that definitely a winning combination. So, all right. Will you say something, Win? I want to see if everybody else can hear you. Just say test or something.
That's
There we go. Great. So now they can hear you. So don't we won't talk
okay.
too much about them while we're in, all right.
Okay.
Great. All right. So, when you switch from, I have a Nikon D5000, which is just a standard, it's a pro consumer camera, is what they like to call it. And I love to take that out, taking pictures. And it's nice to get that depth and everything when you are taking it, but it's heavy. It's not really that fun when it's that heavy of a device to take. And that's why the iPhone has become the cell phone, pretty much the iPhone has become the camera of choice for most people. So that's what we'll work on today, is using the camera app on our iPhone and work on that. Now on our iPhone, you have a camera app on your dock, or you might have it somewhere in your home screen there at the bottom. The other thing that Apple really does nicely is that at your lock screen, this screen right here, if you take your finger on your lock screen and swipe on the screen, it will go ahead and go directly into camera mode. So So go ahead and lock your iPhone by pressing the button on the right-hand side. That should put it into sleep mode. Just give it a quick push. And then that should put you at a lock screen, kind of like this, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yes, perfect. So you're at your lock screen is what this is called. Now, if you take your finger and you just tap on it once and then swipe over the screen,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to open up your camera. Yep,
Mhm.
perfect. And it's a right to left swipe over the screen. So right, just like I'm doing here, you just swipe with your finger and that will open up the camera. Did it work for you?
Yep.
Great. And what about LaDonna? It was. So go ahead and press the lock button again. Just one push, just a quick push. There you go. And now you're at the lock screen. Press it again. Okay, now tap on the screen and then swipe right to left over the screen. Tap on the screen to wake it up. Okay, let me see the screen real quick. All right, now swipe. There you go. Perfect. So that's how you can open up the camera app. And you could do the same thing on the iPad too. So if you are here at the lock screen, you just take your finger and you just swipe, and there's the camera right away. So it is ready for you whenever you are to take a picture. Now, of course, if you buy a new fancy iPhone, the iPhone has on the side over here, it has a camera button. Which iPhone do you have? 15. So the 16, yes. So the 16 has a camera button over here on the side. So go out and buy the new one real quick just to keep Apple stock going nice and high. So, the joke when I used to do this class in person was make sure that you say that I sent you. So, so um, okay. No, I did when something I won't ever do again. It's too much, too much. They're really just competitive. No, competitive. It's like everybody's just gunning for everybody else. It's yeah, too much competition. Okay, so now that you opened up the camera, the very first important button that I want to introduce you all to before we do anything is the shutter button. That's how you take a picture. So once you open up the camera app, you have a big white button at the bottom of your screen, or if you turn your iPhone on its side, let's see if I can do that. So here we are, we're on our side. Ooh, it might not do it for me. Maybe if I open up Safari. Ah, there we go. Let's go to camera. Nope. All right, but if you turn your iPhone on the side, you still have that button, the shutter button at the bottom or side of the screen. It's very nice for if you're taking pictures because you can easily tap on that button and hold everything nicely. Now, even on the older iPhones, they actually have the volume up button is also a shutter. So on your iPhone, you have two buttons on the left-hand side. Some of you might have three, but the middle button is your volume up button. And if you tap on that button while it's in camera mode, it will take a picture as well. So that's kind of a nice, quick way to take a photo. Just push it. The buttons are push or not push, and you're pushing the sleep wake. Yeah, no, yep. So the top one. So just yep in camera mode. Put not the top one, the middle one. So yep. So push that, and that should take a picture. Yep. That's okay. Yeah, it's just a. Those are just buttons. So, and that will take a picture. Did it work for you, Win?
Yes. Yeah, it did.
And so that is the easy way to picture and capture Two, the next OS will let you use your AirPods to take pictures too, if you want to. And if you have an Apple Watch, you can use the Apple Watch to take a picture. And yes, I think if you actually say, hey Siri, take a picture, that it will take a picture, but I'm not certain. Let me see. Take a selfie.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a picture, but it does move. It does open it up for you. So
Oh, okay.
it might, I wonder if it'll press the shutter button. No. So there might be a way of doing that, but the volume up will take a picture of it for you. All right. Okay. So the shutter button at the very bottom, most important button there, or you can use your volume up button to take a picture, or if you have the fancy new iPhone 16 Pro or not, they have a camera button there for you that you can push to take buttons. You can also use that to do a zoom in and a zoom out if you want to. So they've made that into a camera button. I think somebody's son must have been bored and he was like, Dad, it'd be great if it had a camera button on it. So that's probably how it came into
Question.
existence. Yes, go ahead, Wayne.
How do you do the zoom in and zoom out with the buttons?
So do you have the a button?
I have 15.
You don't have that button on there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yes. So now to zoom in, that's a great question. You have these buttons down here at the bottom of the screen. So you have 0.5. You might have, most of you will have 0.5 and 1x on your screen. I don't know if the iPads will. Some of you will have 2, or you might have 3, or you might have 5, depending on your camera model. So what do you have on yours, Ludana? So you have a 3 where it says 2. Has an up and down, but it probably only has, it doesn't have a number on there, does it? No. Yes. So you have kind of like this little slider here. We'll talk about that in just a moment. All right. So the numbers that are listed are using the different lenses on your iPhone. So if you look at the back of your iPhone, you're going to notice 3 circles if you have the Pro model. If you have just the standard model, you're going to notice just 1 lens. So, or 2 lenses. So that is your feature. So here on my iPad, I have 2 lenses here on the back of that one. On yours, you have 1. And on LaDonna, you only have 1 on that one as well. So that's how you can tell who's the cooler ones in town with their no.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. It's not what you're not gonna take your iPad out taking pictures when you can. So that's what makes it a great device. I've used it where I'll set it up in one area, and because I film theater as well. So I set it up and it's just kind of my backup camera that just runs there from the side. And the image isn't that good, but if my other cameras fail on me, I at least have one option. So okay. All right, so that's what the numbers are on the bottom. That's how you can zoom in to different locations and get closer if you need to. Okay.
Got it.
And then on the other devices, if you take your finger and you scroll, see how I get this little slider here? This is switching from all the lenses. On my iPhone, once I get past the 5x, it's doing something called digital zooming. So it's really just zooming in on the picture. And I always tell people, just take the picture at 5 so you have the full picture, and then you can zoom later if you want to. Okay.
How did you bring that up?
Yes. So, so if you just take your finger there, Win, and just kind of drag your finger up down at the bottom,
Oh,
this
got it.
should pop up.
Yeah,
And
you did.
then LaDonna had a great question about, and it was kind of what I was talking about with when you take pictures, don't go past the number that's down there at the bottom. So you have 3x down there at the bottom right, or 5x?
Mhm.
3x. So 3x is what's called your zoom on your phone. I have 5x because I have the fancy new phone. No, mine's the standard one. Mine's just the standard iPhone, but it's a 16. So what they like to do to make us want to buy bigger ones is they find ways of adding in a different zoom lens inside of there, and that's what the 5x does. So that is my maximum zoom optically. After that, I can zoom in digitally, but you really don't want to digitally zoom because you're going to start to get blurry on your subject, and then you're going to miss out on other parts of it. So, I could zoom in to your canteen there. So there's your canteen up there on the screen. And then when I use my slider and zoom in, oh, it's a Mickey Mouse canteen. Okay. So when I zoom in on it, it's not going to be as clear. And it's also going to be, see how it's pixelated there on the screen?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very going to be pixelated, and it's not going to be as nice as it would be if I would just take a picture of it at this mode. And then I could probably crop in on it a little bit better, and see how I'm still getting, like, I'm zoomed in as close as I was before, but I'm getting a better picture this way. So I always try to not recommend using the digital zoom after 5x. Now,
Okay.
exactly, or 1x. Yours doesn't have an option. But if when you do buy your new iPhone 16 Pro, and tell them that Jess sent you, um, so when you buy that, or if you decide to buy a phone, you want to stick within those numbers at the bottom of the screen. Each iPhone is a little bit different. So yes. Correct. You don't want to zoom in anymore because that will it'll distort the image, and you might miss something that you can't get back. So I notice a lot of people do that when they're taking pictures of birds. You're outside and you just want to zoom in so you get the bladed. And so by you having that whole picture, at least you have what happened in the picture itself. So okay. So that is our Zoom
I'm hearing every other word, Jeff.
shutter at the screen. If you hold the shuts on this, it's recording video, and that red down there at the bottom is a movie. Also get a timer up at the top. It's recording. On some of the older devices, when you press and hold that red button,
Yeah, you did. You lost.
did I lose you? I might need to.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. Let me take my phone, and it's trying to upload that video, which is taking too much oomph out of our network here at Akiyama.
Yes.
Is that better? Okay. So if you press and hold on the white button, it's going to take a movie. See how it's red down there at the bottom? Now, if you press and hold and it starts doing a counter like this, that's called burst mode. And so it's taking 24 pictures very quickly, and it's putting them all into one little box. When you hold down yours, what does it do? It did the numbers? Okay, so that's called burst mode. So some of the newer photos or newer cameras to older cameras do a little bit different things, but typically that's what you'll get if you hold down that shutter, is you'll get what's called a burst mode. For us with the newer phones, we take our finger, and notice here I'm on the screen. I'm going to swipe to the left, and it's going to begin that countdown there. So that's how you can do a burst of 48 pictures really quickly. So, it's hard to recommend that instead of a video. I guess I would recommend that if you have like a grandkid that's hitting a bat, maybe he's hitting a ball, for example, and so you want to actually get him hitting the ball and everything. You know,
Mhm.
I'm going to explain something called live photo here in just a moment, and live photo kind of does that same thing as well. So, all right, any
Okay.
questions on our shutter, watching the movie, etc.? Great. Our next tool is down here at the bottom to the right of the shutter, and that is our camera switch. So your iPhone has a camera up here at the top, and of course it has the lenses behind. If you feel like taking a selfie, which I haven't recently, there we go, hi, then you can tap on that button and it will switch to the front facing camera on your iPhone.
Mhm.
And then you can take a selfie of everybody in the group. So if you've ever wondered how they do a selfie, that's how you can do. And you can do that with your iPad as well. You can tap on that button, which will switch it from the front facing camera to the rear facing and vice versa. So that will switch you back and forth on your camera for your iPhone. Did everybody try that? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, and then the last button at the bottom of our screen will show you the last picture that you took. So I took a picture of the Mickey Mouse water bottle. And so that was the last picture that's there in the corner that I took. So that is that's the Mickey Mouse water bottle. And I can actually swipe through all of the different pictures that I recently took. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's how you can take a photo and see the photo in the very corner and decide if you want to keep it or not. So,
Okay.
when you take a picture, it should show up to the right or the bottom of the shutter. So you'll see a little box there. Yes, exactly. So that'll be the last picture that you took, and you can tap on that box and you can see that photograph in full size, or you can also hit the trash can to delete it if you want to. So, great. Oh yes, probably. It quickly adds up photos like right away. Sometimes you might get this little flower down here at the bottom. This little flower is called macro mode. So if I'm taking a picture of my hand and I have it in macro mode, it's going to use a different lens to kind of see my finger nice up and close. So if I'm taking a picture of this eraser, for example, see how the eraser's clear? Now, if I hit that rose down at the bottom, that is no longer clear because it's too close for it to be able to take that picture. So that's where the macro mode comes in handy. It uses one of the other lenses to kind of give you a little bit closer of that
Oh,
picture.
yeah, yeah.
And so, do you have the rose on there?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. So that's called macro mode. And it's designed, my favoriteest thing in the whole wide world is taking pictures of flowers. I think I have a slight addiction to it, but there is nothing that I love doing is that nice close flower photograph where you have the picture and it's nice and close. Let's see if I've got one. Oh, this is okay. But you kind of see how the photograph is, the flowers nice and close and everything's blurry behind it. That's using some of the macro mode options. I thought I had a better photo of it somewhere. Oh, maybe. Well, that's the joy. Okay, so here's this. It's almost the same photo down there. Hmm. One day I'll go through and label all my pictures. There we go. So like this picture right here is very close to that flower. And so I'm using kind of that macro mode to get very, very close to it and get whatever effect I'm going for at that moment. So, okay. So that's when you'll see that little macro icon show up at the bottom there. It'll show up if it feels like it needs to make the image a little bit clearer up close, and it will do itself automatically. I found that it's very annoying if you're taking a picture outside the window of a plane because it will focus on the dirt and grime on your window instead of what's actually out there in the clouds for some reason. And I've tried to fight it, and I've actually bought another app that I use called Halidide, this guy right here. And this allows me to manually focus my pictures. So if you do run into that a lot and you're flying a lot and you're like, I really want to take better pictures out my window, or if you're on a bus, for example, and you're on a tour, what's going to happen is the iPhone's going to keep focusing on all that nice and warm in there. So, all right. Of course. All right. So our next spot is we've covered these items. We're going to talk about the different filming options in a moment, but let's talk about photography first before we move on to some of the video options. Any questions so far about any of these? Okay. Moving up to the top, or while you're taking a picture, it would probably be on the left-hand side of your screen. So if you are taking a photograph and you're holding it on the side, it'll probably be on the your left-hand side where all these presets will be. So on your presets at the very top, this is your flash icon. This lets you know if your flash is on or not. So if there's a line through that icon, that means that the flash has been turned off. Okay. So when you're in the Louvre and you're trying to take pictures of whatever's there, what's that, the Louvre and Louvre? The Mona Lisa. So you're there taking pictures of the Mona Lisa and you don't want to destroy her. So your flash needs to be off. So that's when you would tap on this flash, or up here, make sure that that flash is off. Again, I do some children's theater, and parents will always take pictures of their kids, no matter how much you tell them not to. They always forget to check in that upper corner, and you see this flash come out of the corner of their eye. So that's what you always look for in the corner before you take pictures, is you make sure that there's a slash through that icon there. That means that the flash is turned off. If there's not a slash through it, but the little electrical symbol is there, that means that the electrical symbol is going to go ahead and take pictures with the flash on, possibly. Now, if it gets dark enough, see how the flash will turn kind of a yellowish color?
Yeah.
So that's how you know that the flash will ignite. So there's my fingers. Woohoo! So the flash went off, and you can see my fingers in their great detail because it was yellow there. So if it turns yellow and you're taking pictures of that Mona Lisa, you definitely want to make sure that the flash does not turn off. So, okay. So I always have a line through that. The flash on the iPhone is okay, but it's really only good if the subject's right in front of you. It's like a fill flash is what they like to call it. So if I use the flash from back here to take a picture of both of you, it just wouldn't work very well if the lights were off and I tried to take a picture. But if I was really close to you and I used that flash, probably like within 3 feet, that flash is going to be adequate for doing it. The other thing, yeah, I say keep the flash off. Yeah, it's not going to do much for you. There's another icon that comes and goes, as you may have noticed, with a 2S on it. This is what's called night mode. And night mode is designed to keep the aperture open while it takes its picture so that you can get a picture of my palm, for example. But what it does is if it notices that it's too dark and your flash is disabled, it's going to go ahead and ignite and keep your aperture open for 3 seconds. And keeping your aperture open for that long will give you the ability to kind of get a dark, starry night if you want to, for example. I've taken the phone and I pointed it at the sky in darkness, and I've really got some beautiful stars, as that happens, because let's see if we have any. Some of them might, so you'll have to just see what they offer. So let's see. Okay, so here's an example of me leaving the aperture open, so that
Nice.
you can see what's up there. So I kept the aperture open for just 3.4 seconds. That's what this little icon down here tells me. So the aperture was left open, and I was able to get that. And what's great is you can kind of see how fast the Earth spins because there's a little bit of blur on all these pictures. So it's always fun to see them. So, and those ghostly nights, I just love being out there with my tent, and I'll just shoot. Even if they don't turn out, it's still kind of fun to look at the stars and the moon and everything. And then, in the Aurora Borealis were working, and you could see them. I think you guys could even see them as far as here, if I remember correctly. If you went out with your phone and took a picture, that would allow you to save that photo. So, okay, great. Back to the camera. So that is when you'll notice up there in the corner, it'll be 3 seconds, and that's your night mode has been activated. It does all the work itself, and I will show you how to turn it on or off in just a moment. The last button is live mode. So you'll notice these little circles up in the upper corner. These circles represent live mode, which gives all of your pictures a little bit of life to them or a little bit of movement. So like this picture, for example, if I press and hold on it, you can see the flash happen. This one here, you can see movements. So live means that there's a couple seconds before and after the picture is taken that it saves that photo for you. So that's the live option. I have always kept that on and kept it running because I like to use the live photo for later if I'm trying to find something or look at something. It gives me a little bit more of a window of photo. So
how do you open that up?
So when you're in the camera mode, there should be a live photo in the upper corner.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
And as long as that doesn't have a slash through it, it is going to go ahead and do its job and record a few seconds of video before and after you take the picture. So if you have a very active granddaughter or grandson and they're just running all around, if you do take a picture, it'll give you a few moments before and after you took the picture to decide which part you want.
Okay.
So you could either do the shutter option, which will just keep taking picture after picture, or you could just embrace the live photo and then grab the picture whenever you want to. So
Okay.
this you all do not have on your iPhone 15s, but this is a styles option up there in the corner. And that allows you to kind of decide what kind of filter or style you want to take all your pictures in. Do you have anything up there in the corner?
I don't.
Yes. So
Okay.
I haven't gotten into using styles. A lot of people say to start using the vibrant because it gives it more of a color and a more of a style. I don't know. I like to do all that after the fact on my own. So I will typically keep my photographs in the I won't change any of the color. So I'll just keep it normal, and I'll do that after the fact when I'm ready to. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So the question is, if I were to send anyone a photograph like LaDonna, would you be able to edit it afterwards? And the answer is yes, absolutely. So if I send you a picture, you can edit it. And what's great, if you do it from iPhone to iPhone, you have more options to edit it. And because it's an iPhone 16 that's sending it to you, you have these styles options in your camera. So you can actually adjust the styles of it. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to get a lower resolution photo. I won't notice it probably unless I try to print it up and put it up on a wall or something, because the resolution's difference is so little. But that would be the difference is if I were to send that to you. So you do not have the style option, but you do have the filters option. And then when we do editing next week, I'll show you some of the ways in which you can edit a picture to make it really stand out. So.
Okay.
In the middle of the screen, did you all notice a little down arrow yellow up there? Now, if you tap on that little icon, it gives you all your choices down here at the bottom. So it's kind of like a menu where it hides things inside of there, like the flash. If you want to turn the flash on, auto, or off, you can tap on the flash icon down here at the bottom, and you can adjust those different options for your flash. So if you always want the flash to ignite, you can turn the flash on. So it will always flash for you. So, and that is tapping on the arrow up here at the top, the little arrow, and then tapping on the flash to turn it on or off. So.
Okay. Now
That's
I noticed,
high dynamic. Go ahead.
real quick, I noticed on mine I have the auto, I have on and flash off. If I keep it on auto, it will flash when it needs to flash.
Yes. So the question is I have it set for auto as far as the flash goes, and it will turn on whenever it needs to automatically turn on.
Got it.
And then Vicky has on hers, she has HDR there somewhere. Where's it listed? Kind of in the corner over there. That means high dynamic range. On the newer iPhones, that's handled automatically. What HDR means is that it takes a low contrast picture, so something that's a little bit darker and hard to see. So see this picture here, I'll make it, see how it's kind of dark. So it takes that picture, and then it takes a regular picture, and then it takes one in high contrast. So it gets all of the different elements of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So it takes it in those three different parts, and then it merges those three together automatically. And when it merges those pictures, it gives it kind of like this really high detail, high contrast photo. So you can see the darks and you can see the brights, because the iPhone's only able to do one at a time. So your eye is always adjusting, though, to the different contrast levels. So when I look back there at the back, I can see the chairs and I can see the shade underneath it. Now, if I took a picture of it, it's probably only going to get like the bright aspects of the photo for that one. But if I were to take three pictures, the high contrast, the regular picture, and the low contrast, and merge them together, it will automatically give me all these human eye sees. So yes. So All right. No, yes, if you got a new, it does it automatically. So, okay. All right. So that is the different, we did the flash. You could turn live photos on or off if you need to.
Mhm.
So that's your live options. Again, you guys do not have the specialty option yet. On the new iPhones, you'll have that. So there you go. 4x3, square, or 16x9. These are the different, yes, the different compositions of photos. So 4x3, standard photograph. A square takes the photograph and puts it into a square. And then a 16x9 is more elongated. So there's a 16x9, a square, and then the standard 4x3.
Mhm.
You do not. That's why I typically do it in 4x3 and then do the cropping afterwards. So, but if there was some reason that you were doing like a large batch of photos and they all have to be in squares for whatever reason, you could do it in the square option. So, and that's how you can quickly organize everything. So, okay. Yep. We'll get down to those options in a moment. So that's your 4x3 and all those options at the bottom. The next icon is your exposure. So you can make it dark or bright depending on the photo size that you are taking. So if the photo is really bright outside, you can lower the exposure so you don't have as much light coming into the device. Or if it's really dark, you can bring up the exposure and you can see things a little bit brighter inside. So see how the chair is very blue? Now, when I take it and bring it to low contrast, the chair is very dark all of a sudden. So that's how you can get the different exposures. Now, you can do exposure after taking the picture. So that way you don't have to do it in camera if you don't want to. Yep. I don't know if you have exposure or not. I don't think so. But you do have where you can tap with your finger and see this little sun that's kind of hiding right here.
Mhm.
Right here. So see, there's a little tiny sun here in the center of the screen. If I hold that sun down and drag down, that's how I can adjust the exposure. So that's how you can, and whenever you tap outside of it, it goes back to normal. So.
Okay.
Great. And then at the very end there, you have your timer. So if you're setting up a nice family photograph, you can turn on your timer. And with your timer, you can do 3 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds there so that you can go ahead and set up everybody. And it will give you a 10-second or 3-second countdown of it taking a picture. So that way you can get your phone all set up, happy and ready to go. And then you go ahead and you can get in your spot and take your picture. So, all right. Now, down at the bottom of the screen, you have different ways of making movies. So if you keep swiping all the way over, you should have what's called a time lapse option. The time lapse will take a picture every so often and merge them all together so that you get kind of like some subtle movement. this is great if you're taking pictures of the sky. So you can put the iPhone on its back, turn on time lapse, and the clouds will look all magical as they come by. Even though it takes them 40 minutes to come by, in your movie, it'll look like it's a minute. So they'll come by really pretty.
That's neat.
Slow motion is exactly the opposite of that. What it does is it takes 140 to 240 pictures per second. And with so many pictures taken per second, you can really slow down the video so you can play it back really, really nicely. Yep. Cinematic, you may not have on your iPad, but some of the newer iPhones do. Cinematic lets you take one object and zoom in on another. So let's see if I have any cinematic photos here. I think I do. Okay. We go down to media types. Let's see, there's cinematic. So with cinematic, what you can do is you can really concentrate on a certain photograph. Let's see, cinematic. There we go. Okay. So here is Maisie the dog here. And then what I can do is I can actually focus behind her if I wanted to. I did a better job with the kids as they were running around in a circle. Oh, there we go. So see how there's this kid here? And then as we move along, one of the kids will be blurry and one of the others will not. So this will actually let you focus on a certain kid versus another one. That's the idea of cinematic. So it gives you more of a, well, here we go. So here's my sister dancing. And as you can see, everybody behind her is blurry. And this is called cinematic is what it's called. Yep. So that's the cinematic option for recording video. Again, it gives it a nice kind of blurry quality like you're filming. Yes, cinematic is video. Pretty much everything to the right of the word video is all cinematic. So those are all just movie types there. It does, but I don't think it has cinematic. So, and then we talked about photo. Portrait will allow you to take an object and kind of blur its background. So here I am, and there is the background. See how it's a little blurry back there? It's kind of hard to see. There we go. There we go. So that's blurry behind me. I can also take and make it black and white and make the area behind me black and white as well. So that's portrait. Absolutely. So the question is if I take this in black and white, can I take this photo and can I edit it and take out and bring back the color? And I believe that you can take this photo and bring back in the color. I think it'll let us somehow. So there we go. Yep. So see, there's color. Yes. I don't know if it has the I don't think it has the portrait mode on the iPad. So, but yes, there's our color back to us. So it's black and white in this picture. I can go into it and I can edit back in that color if I need to. So, so that is the cinematic. That is also the portrait mode that you see on the iPhone. Spatial is for taking pictures so that the Apple Vision, those expensive goggles that Apple came out with, it gives it kind of like the effect that you're there, like bubbles will bounce by you and stuff like that. So that's the idea of spatial, either picture or video, is that it kind of knows the space and it can somehow work around it. So that's the spatial. And last but not least is the panoramic photos. So with panoramic, you start at one spot, hit the shutter at the bottom, and just keep moving and following the arrow.
Oh, I see.
Hit the stop if you get too far, and that will give you a very high detailed map of wherever you're at. Great for filming at the Grand Canyon, where you just can't take a whole picture of it. So you can turn it on to panoramic and then just take one, hit the shutter and then slowly move the lens over, and that will let you grab the whole things.
Okay. Mhm.
That works too. Yes, I've heard that working as well. So, yep. All right. Well, it took us an hour, but we got through all the camera features. Any questions or anything that you want me to go a little bit deeper into? You cannot. You can usually send about, I'd say about, I think 2 minutes of a video is what it will take. Apple to apple's typically about 2 minutes. Androids are a little picky. So it does. Yeah, it's a little blurry. So next week we are going to work on editing our pictures. So now that we have all of these wonderful photographs, how do we edit them and change them and everything? So
Okay.
that'll be a fun one.
Okay.
Huh? All right. All right. Thank you and have a great
Okay.
one.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.